Sarah, and this is Adam, and we are the Mateens. A couple years ago, we started trying, and halfway through, when we went to the ultrasound for the 20-week genetic ultrasound, we saw our baby and found out that it was a boy. We got pictures and we were really excited, and then we went home, and then a couple hours later we got a call from the doctor saying we had to go back in. So we went to the perinatology for our level 2 ultrasound and found out that our son Archer had semilobar holoprosencephaly. So the parts of his brain didn't fuse together properly, meaning that he would not survive. And so that was really hard and eye-opening.
Hard to believe.
Hard to believe. We decided to have an induced labor. So the next week we went to the hospital and we delivered Archer Leo Mateen on October 28th, 2016. He was 9 ounces and 9 inches long. It was surreal, you know, going into the hospital and with a baby and then leaving the hospital without a baby and just a box of memories and only things that you really have left. And then when we started trying again, we got pregnant. I was really sick, and then when we went in for the 8-week appointment, things didn't look right. The hormones were really high, and I was still really sick, and found out that our second baby was a partial molar pregnancy. There was still a baby, but there was also like tumor-like cysts also with him in there. I carried him until like 11 or 12 weeks, and we went into the level 2 again and found out that he already passed. I had another D&C. We named that baby Kai, even though we don't know for sure if it was a boy or a girl because it had 3 sets of chromosomes. But we decided to call him Kai, and it still feels surreal. They'll always be a part of us, and I know, like, people say things happen for a reason. I feel like I'm not 100% there yet. I still question it and still have a hard time without them. Yeah. You're never gonna get over it. You're never gonna like really move on because you still love them, and so you're still grieving for them, even if it's a few years later. I cried a lot. I think I kind of shut myself in within myself and just don't really want to do anything and just sleep, just kind of be by myself. And then sometimes that'll change and I'll want to be around people or talk about them, and then it'll just change and I don't, or I'll just want to eat chocolate.
I wanted to work. I just went to work and wanted to not think about it. I guess be around other people, but I didn't really want to talk about it.
Right. I think
only to Sarah. I think we talked about it a good while.
Yeah, because not everyone understands what it's like, and it really does give you a different perspective on things. And I think it's hard because some other people don't know what to say. Took a week and a half off of school afterwards. I think it was good getting back to work and trying to think about other things. I feel like in our own ways too, we're still grieving it. We're still grieving both of them. It gets a little bit easier with time and with things that have happened since then, but I think it's always going to be there. It's always going to be a part of us. This is Maeve, and she is almost 6 months. She is our rainbow baby. She was born on October 21st.
She came a little early.
She was, yeah,
but otherwise pregnancy
3 weeks
was
early.
Good, right?
Pregnancy was pretty good. A little sick at the beginning, but nothing like it was with the partial molar pregnancy. So we had all the extra tests that were available to help us prepare and just feel reassured that she was going to be okay. Really
happy to have her.
Happy to have her, and I try to think too, if it weren't for Archer and Kai, then we wouldn't have her. And we obviously love her and think that she's very special. And then kind of going into our experience like with labor with Maeve, I kind of already knew what it was kind of all about, and different experience, but we went to the same hospital and I was kind of nervous about that too, just because our first experience was
same, hallway or same.
Same. And we had even one of the same nurses, and like as soon as she like walked in, I was like, oh, you were one of our first nurse with Archer, so that was, and I don't know if there was ever a real point feeling like it's gonna be okay. Like I didn't really feel that until like she was actually here, and those tests were reassuring, but
they weren't 100%.
They weren't 100%, and when you've gone through 2 losses that were very rare to begin with, you never know. You don't know until it actually happens. We went into the hospital with Archer, and then we left with the box. Yeah, the hospital gave us the box. We brought Archer Bear, and I wanted something to like bring with us to the hospital that was comforting for me, but for Archer as well. So we made an Archer Bear, and I probably slept with this for months and months after losing him. So he's special and will always be special. And maybe someday we'll get to cuddle him too. So in our box we have, like in memory of, with his footprints and handprints. It was a little disappointing, or a lot disappointing, that we couldn't get a birth certificate because it was 19 weeks and 6 days. And if we would have waited 1 more day, then we would have been able to get that. But they didn't want us to wait too long to actually deliver him. It was disappointing, but we got this. We had him cremated, and we sprinkled him on the park where we got married. A leaf from that day, and his jar that his ashes were in. I have my hospital bracelet from that day. My grandma made this hat, but because he was so small, he couldn't wear it. So then they gave him this little hat to wear. And we brought clothes for him to wear too, but he was too small. They wrapped him up in this blanket. Some like ultrasound pictures and pictures of him. So they took some pictures. He was very red, very dark, got cold after a while, but he was wrapped up. And there he is with his Archer Bear. Maeve gives us a lot of hope. I feel like I started off with not a lot of hope. I think just the time passing, helped. And just knowing that there was still a chance that we could have a family and have a baby of our own.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of reasons, why things go wrong, why pregnancies go wrong. And in our 2 cases, at least, you can say that, it was random, or it wasn't genetic, so.
Mm-hmm. There technically wasn't anything wrong with us. It just happened.
Random things happen. So that was it was frustrating to hear, because it's just like,
well, then why? You question it, and.
But at least you still had hope for another baby. You said, mm-hmm. And Sarah really wanted, when she wants something, she's, I really want this. I know I want this. I've always wanted this. So.
That has been one of my life goals.
Was to have a baby.
Was to have a baby and to have a family, and I became a teacher and got married, and
those were life goals.
Those were my life goals, and to have a baby.